Harvest is over. We finished picking all the apples. So we also picked the little field at home here. It's only 5 rows. So it's also empty. So we can now start cleaning off the machines and get them inside for winter. So we just want clean machines inside. So we have to pressure wash them off and get all the dirt out of the machines. Well, they collect a lot of stuff everywhere where parts rotate. And there's also a lot of insects running around in the machine, so we try to wash them all out after the season, so we don't take them inside and they don't nest, as that's all bad for the machine. So let's get the pressure washer out and get them clean. Maybe you remember this thing. I made this one a few years ago to roll up thread and hoses and all kinds of stuff. And especially to pull it off, as we tend to have rolls of thread and we want to get them rolled off. So we can do that with this thing, but it's still hand labor, so you have to rotate it by hand. And that gets quite heavy if you got rows of 200 meters length. So I like to make it hydraulic powered, and I already found a gearbox on eBay, so I picked that up a few weeks ago, which is this thing here, and it actually has a ratio of 1 to 60. That means 60 rotations of a hydraulic motor would do 1 rotation of that one, and I think that's gonna be pretty okay. So I can use a high RPM hydraulic motor, which tend to deliver more power than the lower RPM motors because of the oil leakage they have internally. So let's try and make something of this one so it gets a bit more efficient in use and less hand labor. That's the most important thing. Also the bin where it's mounted on, I mean, that's basically absolutely worthless, but it's just the way how it is, how we set it up, how it was. And these kind of things, they slowly develop over time, like how you want to have them, how they should work to be functional. And yeah, now making it hydraulic powered is one of these things. So let's get the hydraulics on there. And we're gonna take that bin out as well, because I really don't want to see that bin again. So we're gonna demolish it for the wood so we can fix other bins with it, but I don't want to see this bin back again. So I adapted this flange so it can fit on here. And now this flange, it goes on the gearbox, which I got right here. And the gearbox has a mounting point here, where I got this tube for, which a fork can go through. And I'm gonna mount it like that. And that way I can position the whole gearbox like this and get the wheel on top of it for on the forklift. So the forklift goes in here and the wheel is actually held just here. And then I still need a hydraulic motor to drive this pulley here, and then we should have the complete driving system ready. I just need to make sure that I make a system on here so I can lock this on place on the fork. I'm gonna have to drill a hole and a big bolt or something to mount it steadily on the fork. I think then it's gonna work really nice. So I got this part finished. Gearbox can be mounted on here, and that pulley can be mounted on there, and it can also be mounted on the gearbox, and that should be all good then. Then the only thing what's left to do is to add a hydraulic motor to it, and I just have to figure out how much oil flow tractors have to figure out what kind of hydraulic motor I want. So I found this old motor from a brush sweeper, as we have a lot of spare parts from brush sweepers. We have a total of 5 or so, but it means we have a lot of spare parts. So I want to see if the motor is good to drive the tread roller. So I just hooked it up with hoses to the forklift to figure out if it works. So let's test that. Well, that motor is not good for what I want to use it for. The motor itself is good, it's just not the correct speed. So I need a smaller motor so it will turn a lot faster. So I'm gonna have to order one to finish this project, but then it should be good. So now at least I know what I'm looking for. I want about 10 times the speed that I got now, so I know the volume of that motor. So I also know what kind of volume of motor I should get. So let's order that. I bought this beautiful little hydraulic motor, which has about 10 times less oil capacity than the other one I tried, and that should also result in a 10 times higher speed. So let's see to get this one mounted on and then get it working. And I actually want to mount it on this position, so the V-belt in this construction will go around the fork. The very simple reason I want to do that, here I can use this as my chassis. So that's the reason. If it doesn't work, then we need to adjust it in the future. I just hope it's gonna work. that simple. Now let's see how this one works. Well, it isn't fast, but it is safe to work with, and it also has a lot of torque. And that's really the thing that I was worried about, and it actually seems great. If I want it faster for the future, it's just as simple as getting another pulley on here, and then it will run faster. Now let's figure out how the International 423 is handling it. This is probably the tractor where we are going to use it the most. So I like to see what the speed is with this one. Well, now this bin can be demolished. It's worn out, it's not our measurement, so it doesn't suit us. So let's saw it up into planks to fix the other bins, and also into firewood. And then it's gone. Then we got one less problem to move around.